JJ is going to give us a presentation about himself as a private aviator, how he got to where he is, and some of the safety stuff that he employs, and the success factors that he's employed into his life and to becoming the person that he is. And I'd just like to say thank you again to JJ for being one of our main sponsors here tonight and giving us all this awesome stuff. JJ, big round of applause, everyone.
Thank you very much. So just to reiterate what David said earlier on, so I'm a general aviation pilot. That's a hobby. I'm in IT full-time, taking care of small businesses. And a couple of years ago, I was sitting actually at a young aviators event at Wonderboom, and I actually thought Pilot Insure was only looking after commercial pilots. And David started chatting to me, and I realized, but he's actually doing a lot more than that. And as of then already, we restructured my whole portfolio, and I'm not fully insured with Pilot Insure. So what the previous speaker was also saying is that you want to make sure that when you fly, that you can take care of your family. So if anything does happen to me while I'm flying, I know I can rest assured my family is taken care of. As a main breadwinner, that is very important to your family as well. Make sure that they're taken care of too. The safety aspect of aviation is extremely important. So I can tell you all kinds of things through my 400 odd hours of flying general aviation, where very early in my flying career, you make stupid mistakes. You get get-there-itis. Doesn't matter what, I'm going to fly. You plan to go for a flight with your instructor, but you get to the airfield and you see the sock is sitting 90 degrees and it's probably pumping 50 kilometers an hour winds. You know you should not be flying then, but you've got this urge because I want to fly, I've planned to fly, I've come to fly, I've come all this way. And I used to travel 70 kilometers to get to the airfield. So I really wanted to fly when I get there. You don't want to turn around and waste that hour and a half that you were driving there. But fortunately, realizing that you're not just flying for yourself, you're flying for your family, you're flying for your friends, your parents. So your own safety impacts them as well. So make sure that you take all these things that are being said tonight to heart and learn from it. So part of what we do in business is we set up our business and we get going. We don't stop, we just try and make ends meet at the end of the month, we try and grow the business. The problem with that is we don't do a pre-flight. So in aviation, every time you get to your airplane, you do a pre-flight. So you make sure the tires are pumped, the fuel is in, oil is checked, you do a walk around, you check your instruments, you go through your startup processes. So why don't we do that in business? We should be doing that in business. Doing those checks makes sure that we have a safe flight. Doing those checks in business will allow us to make sure that our business is continuing. What are the threats that we face in aviation? You're busy flying along, your engine suddenly stops. So think of the devastating effect that that would have on you. The first thing that you think is, oh, what the hell now? And then your training kicks in. And I've had an engine failure while I was flying, and the training does kick in. It's absolutely amazing when you start thinking about it afterwards and you realize that, wow, I actually was paying attention, and the brain has caught up and I'm actually doing what I was supposed to. And you've got a safe landing and everything's good afterwards. So in business, what is the big thing that would affect you? Is there anyone running a business here or anyone in business that can say to me, this item specifically will devastate my company? Anyone? Okay, what in IT? So someone hacks into your system. All right, what do? They steal your information. They encrypt your information. They make sure that they cripple your business. So part of our pre-flight is we make sure that they can't do that. And if they do that, like if we have an engine failure, that we can recover from that. If your accounting system goes down, if your telephone system goes down, if your email system goes down, if your documents go down, get lost, get encrypted, if your laptop gets stolen, a reality is you travel with your laptop in your car, you stop somewhere, you quickly go out to the shops. When you come back, either your car's gone or your laptop's gone. How do you recover from that? And then we've got all the other things about, what about Poppy? How did I protect the information that's on there so that no one else can use my customers' information to infiltrate their systems or my system? So those type of things are the things that we at Personal Systems look after. So we try and do a pre-flight on your business, same as what you do in aviation. We apply the same principles to there to make sure that your business can do business safely. Not just to protect your information, but whoever you're communicating to as well. Because chances are if you get infiltrated, whatever communication you are sending out is also going to try and infiltrate whoever you are doing business with. So the knock-on effect is massive. So if you've got any concerns about any of those type of things, come and talk to us and we can help you out with that. So that's the one thing that I want to talk to you about. The second thing is, do you want to give back to aviation? I'm very passionate about aviation, and I'm passionate about getting young people involved. So my kids are part of the Young Aviators, and it's doing brilliantly. I'm part of the EAA. I love it. There's always someone that knows more than you. You always learn, and you always connect, and you can always find an answer. So what we can't do today is we can't get on a bicycle, drive to an airfield, and interact with whoever's busy with airplanes. We used to be able to do that 20, 30, 40 years ago. It was safe for us to do that. Today we can't. The airfield is locked. The roads are too busy. It's too dangerous. So how do young people at school level gain access to aviation? Unless they know someone at the moment, there's no chance. So what I've done is I've started with a youth aviation network. It's an initiative to try and get school-going kids that's keen on aviation involved with aviation so that they have somewhere to go, that they have mentors that they can communicate with, and that they can find their journey into the next level, which would be young aviators, general aviation, the EAA, and whoever knows, commercial pilots and whatever. So we've started this with Pilot Insure about 2 years ago, I think now, and it's still growing. There's a lot that's happening in the back end. We hosted an event at Baragwanath Airfield a couple of months ago where we had 10 youngsters that even their parents got time to fly. The idea about this is not that you rock up and you're going to fly. The idea about this is that if you're keen on aviation, you'll do the groundwork. You're going to help clean hangars. You're going to help wash airplanes. But during that time, and this is where the real value lies, is you'll be able to talk to the pilot about this airplane, about his experience. So there's the knowledge that's going to be transferred. So what are we trying to achieve at the end of the day? Who's going to be involved? So we're looking at youngsters from the age of 13 and up in a school, in a flying school, someone that you know that would be really keen and just needs that gap, that exposure at the end of the day. We also need businesses. I can't do this on my own. Not even, David's a big guy, and he's a strong guy, but he and I are still too small to do this. We need people in the industry to partner with us. And I'm very happy to say that for quite some time now already, ExecuJet have partnered with us, making their facilities available, financially assisting us as well. So look at the space going forward. Some big things are coming. And then obviously we need enthusiasts like yourself. Connect them with whoever you know that needs that gap with us. But we also need you, your experience, your aeroplane, your time. What are we looking at doing? We want to basically teach the flying basics. Take a PPL, water it down, and start transferring that knowledge. Teach the kids about weather. Who these days know about clouds and the weather systems and those type of things? It's things that don't properly get taught in school anymore. Teach them our experiences. My one experience, I got my light sport airplane license I was flying from Krugersdorp to Nigel. One morning early, 7 o'clock, I take off, I've checked the weather. And as I'm flying along, I see the weather there, Baragwanath side, south of Joburg past here, is not going the direction I was thinking it was going. By the time I arrived in Nigel, instead of the wind blowing into a southerly direction, it was blowing a northerly direction. That weather was on top of me. And for some reason, I read it wrong. So I can take that experience, I can hand it down to someone and say, be careful, make sure, double check, ask, and so forth. So these days, what have I learned from doing that? If I do a long trip, I use Easy Plan, Easy Cockpit, fantastic software, has all the local airfields and all the local contacts on there. Phone those people on your route as your alternatives, for instance, and say to them, how's the weather there? Can I phone you? I'm planning a trip next week. We did a trip to Uppington, from here to Uppington with a little jabby, 4.5 hours, 880 kilometers by car. It's a long distance. By the time you take off here and the weather was great in Uppington, at that stage it might not be the same. But during your flight, you can actually reconnect with those people and double check it. Because they are there, they can actually use their eyes and their senses to tell you. So let's teach these youngsters about those experiences that we've had so that they don't have to make the same mistakes. Involve the youth in flying events. So Pilot and Ship put up a fantastic display at the Pretoria Fierce. If we take these youngsters and we teach them how to do these type of things, we get them qualified as marshals, they're involved, they have some worth to themselves, and they network with other people in the industry. Like I said, wash aeroplanes, clean hangars, teach them about tools and how to use them. How many of you sitting here have held a drill and know that the drill has got a forward and a reverse? Who knows that you've got different drill bits for different things that you're drilling into? Very few, because that skill is not being taught to our kids anymore. I was taught that by my father, but unfortunately we all don't have that privilege. So this environment will be able to do that, and in doing so we'll be able to get eventually to build an aeroplane. That's the goal. Start somewhere, teach them the skills, start building an aeroplane that they can actually see from zero to finish that they were involved in, that they give them somebody worth as well. And then obviously we'll get guest speakers to come and talk to them, people in the industry. If, for instance, they want to, everyone thinks that being involved in aviation is just being a pilot, but there's so much more. I mean, there's ATNS. We all know what the situation is that we have with our traffic controllers at the moment. We need new traffic controllers. We need mechanics. We need people involved in the processes behind the scenes to get these aircraft in the air. So all of these gears we can get in place, and we can get them to assist us in educating these youngsters. So taking all of that into account, we're going to show you now just a quick video of how your business can be affected by not looking after your business the same as what you do with airplanes. And I'll hand over to Rudy.
Yep. Thanks, JJ. I'm not sure if it's okay for me to say I'm not a pilot. So what we do is we're cloud specialists, so we put your data in the cloud. Basically what it means is there's always an air gap between your data where it is now versus where it's backed up. So the most critical part is, like I think you said, you know, your biggest risk is ransomware. You know, just some interesting facts coming out of the industry that when you get attacked, sounds weird, when you get attacked, that bad actor has been sitting in your device for, on average, 128 days. Right, so it's not on the same day. It collects the data and it will attack when it sees fit. And you know, we've seen examples where guys' bank accounts is wiped out the next day. Right, so any protection from your laptop to your server to long-term storage, we do it all in the cloud. I'm not going to bore you with IT slides because you know you're here for a pilot event. So we're just going to show you a quick video just to highlight the services that we have. If you have questions on your laptop, Office 365 server, all those funny stuff, we'll be outside and we can do it for you, or JJ and his team is more than competent to answer that as well. Thank you.
As South Africans, we're used to having backup, a plan B, a just in case, insurance, that added sense of security should we need it. We protect ourselves, our loved ones, our pets, our possessions, our privacy. But what about our data? The information in various forms of media
Just struggling with sound.
living
Heather,
inside
do
our
we have a
many
feed from
devices.
the laptop? No, we
Who's
don't.
protecting
Okay,
that?
stand by, everybody.
Because devices can break, be stolen, get lost or hacked. So many things. Think about it. Data is everywhere. As South Africans, we're used to having backup. A plan B, a just in case. Insurance, that added sense of security should we need it. We protect ourselves, our loved ones, our pets, our possessions, our
Let me
privacy.
quickly translate.
But what about our
So,
data?
In aviation, you've got a
Information
plan
from
A and a
various
plan
forms
B,
of
and
media
hopefully
we have living
D
inside
and so
our many
forth, like we've
devices.
spoken before.
Who's
Your plan A
protecting
is
that?
everything goes according to plan. You've done your planning, you've done your due diligence, aircraft starts, fuel holds, weather's fantastic, flight goes according to plan. Along the way, something happens. You've got some of those berg winds that you showed us the graph of earlier on, which you didn't anticipate. You get smashed around that aircraft, you need a plan B. You need to turn around, you need to go land elsewhere. In our business, everything goes well, we do business, money comes in, money goes out, everything's fine. Someone sends you this funny email, and it looks like it's from your boss, but it actually isn't. And you don't pick up the little bit of telltale signs that something's going to go wrong when you click on this. Once you click on that, your data gets encrypted. Someone gets access to your email. They start sending out emails to your network, instructing them to maybe pay some money into a wrong account, or our bank details have changed, those type of things. These are realities that happen on a daily basis. Companies, huge companies with massive IT departments in South Africa in the last year have been hacked like this. So how do we protect you against that? Before this happens, we need to make sure that your systems are clean. We need to make sure that you've got the right protection, the right backups set up. These guys tend to infiltrate your system, and they sit there for 6 months before they actually trigger anything. So by that time, if you've done a backup to your USB drive 2 or 3 or 5 times, that whole backup means absolutely nothing. So what do you do now? It's too late. Yet, if you've come to us, Personal Systems, we've put in cloud backup solutions for you. We've copied that data. It's clean. You can use it to recover. Your accounting systems up and running. Your email systems are up and running. If you've lost data, you might have lost a day's worth of data. Any business will be happy to be able to recover from that. The problem comes in that if you need to go back 6 months, will your business survive? If you've got to go to a company and say, well, sorry, I actually don't know how much money you owe me because we've had this hack. Do you think they're going to be true with you to say, listen, according to their records, they owe you X, Y, Z? If that was to one customer or one company that you'd be dealing business with, great. You might be able to recover and say, well, let's just write it off and off we go. But imagine that happens to your whole database, everyone that you've done business with. And again, the knock-on effect is whoever else you have been communicating with. So by making sure that your plan B is in place, that your alternate airport is selected before you actually need it, gives you the peace of mind to be able to make sure that your business can carry on. If Pilot Insure lose their database of their customers, they will go down. If I lose my customer database and I can't say who owes me money, when and how much, I will go down. If my systems get infiltrated and I start losing data and my customers can't rely on my reliability, it'll affect my business. I will go down. So making sure that the alternatives are set in place, and it's not a case of, okay, fine, it's now there. We set up reporting, so firstly, if any backup fails, we know about it instantly. Secondly, on a monthly basis, we set reports to our customers to make sure have those backups actually worked. And we do an actual restore. Randomly select a file, we restore it to make sure that that backup is readable. So we know that in the event that anything goes wrong and we need to click on that plan B, it's easy. We've had to recover data for customers, and so far, thank goodness, we've had a 100% success rate. We've not had any issues with that. And that's my story. So I hope that we've inspired you to make sure that your plan B is in order, that your insurance is in order, and happy flying.